Huh? Is D&D racist for removing the half-elf and half-orc? Look, recently D&D announced at their summit that they're no longer supporting half-elves and half-orcs because they feel that the half construction is inherently racist. Like, listen, if we're removing half constructions, then the halfling should just be like the ling. And then there's also a tiefling, which is like half tief, half ling. Anyways, this is coming after Wizards of the Coast decided to choose the term species as replacement for the word race, which is their attempt to do a PR backflip dismount, accidentally landing on a blood purity oopsie mine. Because, fun fact, most species can mix. There's a lot of examples where they do. Mules, zonkies, ligers, jaglions, any number of birds, but most do, and those that do often end up infertile. Like, we ain't platypi. If a harpy and a centaur get on, you don't get a harpy with harpy wings. A centaur with harpy wings. Wait, that'd be really cute though. Anyways, apparently lineage was brought up as a replacement to race, but apparently the inclusion review moved them towards the word species, which feels to me less inclusive. I was looking why lineage was racist, but I couldn't really find anything immediate, and if I have to do some like long-term research as to why a specific term might be racist, then it might not be in the public lexicon enough to be racist. Anyways, back to the D&D Summit thing. Jeremy Crawford, the lead rules designer notes, not sensitivity, inclusion view, none of that. They had this to say: frankly, we are not comfortable and haven't been for years with any of the options that start with half. The half construction is inherently racist, so we aren't going to include it in the new player's handbook. If someone wants to play those character options, they're still in D&D Beyond. They'll still be in the 2014 handbook, but it will no longer be supported. In here, I think they're referring to what a Twitter user calls fractional language, which I think is a made-up term. I tried looking it up and I couldn't find anything about it. If you can source me to an article that talks about fractional language, please, I'd like to know. Here, there's this kind of implication that calling someone half anything says they are lesser. And that's absolute bullshit. I'm half Chinese, half Filipino, half VTuber. Anyone implying I'm less of either is just being racist in their own way, and you can ignore them because their opinion is less than dirt. You're better than the people that hurt you, and you are better than allowing them to affect and linger in your life. The "we feel the half construction is inherently racist" bit comes from like the grand Wizards of the Coast. Is like peak white knight savior complex. Who is actually getting offended by this? The half-elves, the half-orcs, the halflings? None of them are standing up for this one. And as much as the people like to equate these online, fantasy races and real world analogs, they shouldn't be equated because it gets really fucky really quickly. Look, I don't need a corporation to get offended for me. They can keep it and cash your PR checks in for like $10,000 a piece, while people that are actually affected by this get stiffed for another job. For just a little bit more nuance, many people have pointed out that there's a sidebar in the 1D&D UA about choosing whatever options you want, and that's not entirely accurate either. In the Character Origins UA, the sidebar states you can choose 2 races to represent your parents. You have to pick one of those races to provide your size, your speed, and your special traits. But then you get to mix and match the visual characteristics, which you could always do, making this the most useless sidebar in the world. Listen, what about the obvious Goliath halfling pairing? One large, one small. I have to pick either of those. I can't be an average height. I can't choose large when my height is small. This works, kind of, but it's not great. Only picking one of your parents to get traits from, while the second feels majorly like visual tokenism. You know, a part where you only benefit from the visual elements of racial inclusion while not actually being included. When I started playing D&D, I actually really loved the half-elf. As someone that's half Chinese, half Filipino, I've always felt that like I was in the in-between identities and culture. But here comes the half-elf that struggles with that as much as I do. People tend to write what they know, and I was able to bring my whole heart into the mix of things. Representation are the elements that let us express more and more of ourselves, not what we're stealing behind for others. I don't need a corpo to tell me how to identify. I have plenty of people on Twitter trying to do that for me instead. Well, I like this rant. I have a Patreon. Go hit my Patreon. If you want more videos, hit me up. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I like these. But I wish my videos were less reactionary towards things that are actually occurring. I want to discuss more general content, but I don't exactly know what angle to go at, and I don't want to do the classic tabletop RPG. Hey, look, here's a reviewed book I have that was sponsored and sent by me, and I have to give you a glowing review. Here is some homebrew. Here is some. I don't want to get into like the show and tell tabletop RPG like kind of channel. I kind of want to talk about things, and this is a thing to talk about. Anyways, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch. Bye!